Welcome back, Wolfpack Brillos here, and this is how to use Stantler. So, unfortunately, Stantler is a Pokemon I'm not looking forward to reviewing. I do think it is a cool Pokemon. You know, you have reindeer Pokemon, that's awesome. Give this guy a Mega Evolution. That's what Stantler needs, and I feel like there is not really more of a deserving candidate. It's not like you can really evolve Stantler, because then I think it starts becoming insane, but Mega Evolving, that's actually going to be able to, like, improve on this Pokemon, and if you do the stats right or give it, like, a really busted ability, maybe it could work out. Now, another problem is Stantler's move pool, so that might need to be worked on in future generations. Other than that, this guy's not going to really be able to do too much. The graph is also a little messed up. It's 85 speed, 85 special attack, and 95 attack. And unfortunately, that 95 attack, that's Stantler's highest stat. Its highest stat is something that a lot of Pokemon just have. That, you know, 95 attack is really not too much to work with, doesn't have a lot of tankiness, so it's not really going to be able to do much of anything. Look at its typing, it's a normal type Pokemon. Now, normally the normal type is going to be pretty good. Sometimes we see some really cool coverage coming out of it, and overall it's going to be just a very consistent typing. One weakness, one immunity, and you're good to go. But on Stantler, it's not really going to make it to where Stantler has a wide variety of stab it can make use of. It's not going to give it too much diversity. So it's just going to be a plain Pokemon with plain stats. And I'm going to hop over to Bulbapedia really quick. Just kind of show, like, sometimes when we have a normal type Pokemon, we'll see, like, Ice Beam and Blizzard and Thunder and Fire Blast. Now, not normally that's going to work on Stantler anyway with its 85 special attack. You just kind of see it has very, very plain moves that it really doesn't get much of anything. It's just some pretty standard things and maybe some psychic attacks, but they're not insane. Like, Hypnosis has low accuracy. You can use Calm Mind, and that's kind of like really all that it has. It doesn't have Curse, so we can't really try to gimmick it with a Curse. So Stantler's not going to be able to get too much going for it, which is pretty unfortunate. So now let's hop into Pokemon Showdown, and the first thing is just going to be offensive trying. That it gets Sucker Punch, it gets Thrash, so at least with normal typing, Stab, Thrash with Life Orb might actually be able to do a 2-hit KO. So my thought is max out the hit points and hope for the best. That way you take a hit, you hit them really hard, you take a hit, you hit them really hard. Maybe that hit point investment keeps you alive against Pokemon that are a bit bulkier. And that's kind of it. If not, you can go for the speed. Try to outspeed slower Pokemon late game. Maybe if you have a sticky web set up or something like that, or some kind of baton passing. Like, if you absolutely must use Stantler on your team, have it as a sticky web Pokemon. Like, also have a really strong sticky web Pokemon like Mega Medicham, or some of the other ones that we've talked about that really need some speed, and then you can just have Stantler as some kind of backup Pokemon. You know, it comes in and outspeeds with Thrash a couple times. That could be pretty good. Now, if you don't want to get locked into Thrash, you also have Double Edge. Double Edge might be able to cheese out a KO in this situation. Like, you don't have to be fastest with Double Edge. That you take a hit, throw out the Double Edge, use Sucker Punch, and then, you know, by then you're probably going to trade 1-for-1, like Life Orb damage plus recoil plus the damage you took. But at least you're taking a hit, you're getting a cheap KO in with that Sucker Punch, and then you're good to go. After that, we have coverage like Earthquake, Zen Headbutt, Jump Kick, and Mega Horn. And that's kind of it. Also Wild Charge, so I mean, Wild Charge is going to be pretty good. Decent base power if you do look for that super effective hit or some kind of move where it work out. You know, Wild Charge into Sucker Punch, Earthquake into Sucker Punch. Pretty much you're just trying to 2-hit combo that into Life Orb, maybe get another Sucker Punch after that, and trade 1-for-1 with a little bit of damage. That's pretty much the most that Stantler is going to be able to do. Now, it does have Intimidate. So at least when the Pokemon comes in, like, you know, one of your Pokemon fans, bring in Stantler for revenge, and now it means you're going to be a little bulkier on the defense because their attack is getting reduced. So maybe you can use that Double Edge, maybe you can actually have a better chance of surviving and enduring a physical hit, and then trading for that physical Pokemon, and maybe it might work because Stantler isn't suspecting, that they're not going to think, oh no, a Stantler, I need to switch out against this guy because I got intimidated. They might actually not understand a trade is coming, and that could work out. Now, also, since this is, you know, my How to Use series, and I try to do my best to make every Pokemon get the highest potential possible, we can look at the unique set that Stantler has, that of all the things Stantler can do, it is the only Pokemon that has Sap Sipper and Trick Room. Whatever that means, I'm not quite sure, but it is the only Pokemon that have Sap Sipper and Trick Room, so I'm just going to kind of mention it for that if you're looking for a Sap Sipper on your team, like say you have a Petal Blizzard kind of dynamic and it works under Trick Room, go for that. Then you know you can set up Trick Room, get the Petal Blizzard, you're going to Sap Sip it, you're going to get your attack boost, you have Grass Immunity, and then you just kind of use Focus Sash to set that Trick Room, Then you can use Return, Thrash, Double Edge. Well, actually, Double Edge wouldn't really work too much with the Poké Sash. You know, you have Return or Thrash. So you get the +1 attack, then you just use Thrash and you try to go for one-hit KOs. Because with the Stab, that attack is actually going to get a really nice boost. So 317 goes over 450, and then you're using high base power move like Thrash, it has 120. So then that gets Stab, and then we're actually looking at KO range. Also +1 on Earthquake, +1 on Sucker Punch. Good amounts of damage, so if you really need a Trick Room dynamic and you want to set up Stantler, or have some kind of like sap sipping going on, you might be in a good position. And other than that, that's kind of all we've got for Stantler. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video at least, and I hope you all have a nice day.